Well, my wife passed away in 2005 with pancreatic cancer, and she said that it was a death sentence. And the thing that stood out to me at the end is that no, it was a life sentence with eternity with Jesus Christ, because she was a believer. The last hour or so before she passed away, there were 8 of us in the room, and I'll never forget this. I had my hand on hers just trying to comfort her. She got really excited, and she just threw up her hand. She says, "I see Jesus," and it's like, "Let go of me, I'm holding her back." So I realized then that Jesus was going to come get her personally. And then she had her eyes closed again, and she had a choice. And I don't know, I can assume who she was speaking to, but she was talking about a ship. And she wanted to take the center ship because the masts were so much larger and the sails were just pure white. The nurse had told me she'd seen this before, and she said it was like the person has a foot on land and there's a foot on the ship. And it's like they get on board and this life kind of diminishes while the life ahead, increases. And so she chose the middle ship, and once again, she said, "I see Jesus," and she raised her hand. And I said, "Honey, take his hand." And she did, and then that was it. She was in eternity. And the way that affected me was, one, I knew that Jesus definitely answers our prayer because he responded to my request to come get her directly. And then about a year and a half, 2 years later, my mother-in-law, we would talk to her, and she just thought about being a good person. She didn't hurt people, that she had salvation. So she never really received Christ. She didn't really think she had to. She was good enough, which, that's not scriptural. But so she got, she became ill just very suddenly. And I received a phone call from my sister-in-law. She says, "Charles, Mom is wanting to know, when are you going to get here?" And I didn't know anything about her being in the hospital. So I called a flight the next morning, went to Kentucky, and her name was Kay. I said, "So Kay, why do you want me?" I knew what she wanted, but I needed her to ask. I felt like she should be asking. And she looked really disturbed, and she didn't, it's like she didn't know what to say. So I said, "So Kay, do you want to be with Pat for eternity? You want to go see Pat?" And I says, "And this means you're going to live with Jesus Christ for eternity." I says, "Is this what you're wanting?" And she says it is. And so she prayed. We prayed together. I tell you what, after we had the prayer, when I opened my eyes, she had the smile on her face. She wasn't disturbed anymore. And that afternoon, that day that I talked with her, she was baptized through the Holy Spirit. As Christ said, John came to baptize in water. Jesus said he came to baptize in the Holy Spirit. She was baptized in the Holy Spirit, and no question in my mind, she's in eternity with Jesus Christ and her daughter. My sister and my niece had rededicated their lives to Christ, and my brother-in-law, and they joined a church down in Georgia, and they are just on fire for the Lord. And I hope anybody who sees the story, that this will also motivate them to get involved and to be a servant for Jesus Christ.